Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday, October 13th, and also Wednesday, October 14th, because it's a double episode video of what we're doing because it's a two-day lab, so I'm just going to explain everything in one go here. Know that in class we did half of them on one day, half of them on the next day. I'm going to run through all your stuff. Just know that for the results, I will be emailing you the results if you've been absent on the days so that you can get that information on there because we got to do our test first, and I'm recording this pre us doing the activity, so that's that. There's going to be bell ringers for both Tuesday and Wednesday. Let me pull up, there we go, pulling up the good old-fashioned Schoology there. If you go to our 12 through 16, you notice that I combined Tuesday and Wednesday because it's a dual part activity. You got Tuesday there, Wednesday there. Answer up the questions. They're all dealing with our macromolecules. And then you want to click on the assignment of the cheeseburger lab because it ain't easy being cheesy. I'm going to load this up. The assignment's already kind of set up for you. You'll just need to, like we've been doing since the very first day almost, go through things. But here's our cheeseburger lab. You are what you eat because we're made out of the carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, all that kind of good stuff there. So I'm going to go through what we're doing in class and what you can do at home. For our hypothesis here, let me move myself into the corner because there's directions up where I'm at. There we go. Hey, look at that up there. Directions. You're going to write your hypothesis for what part of the cheeseburgers you think are going to contain the following molecules. We're going to do 4 parts to a traditional cheeseburger. We're going to test the hamburger patty. We're going to test the bun. We're going to test the cheese. And then since usually it comes with ketchup and stuff, we're going to test tomatoes since ketchup is going to be made out of tomatoes. And also, sometimes you end up getting an actual tomato on your burger. So those are going to be the 4 components that we're going to look at. And for your hypothesis, I've got an example right there, as you can see, of how to set up your hypothesis. And then just remember your then is going to be what you're predicting. So that should be your different types of hamburger ingredients, what things you would think would have sugars in a cheeseburger. So if sugars are tested for in a cheeseburger, then what parts do you think are going to be in that cheeseburger, or what cheeseburger parts do you think will have sugars? Because, and then whatever your reasoning is. Then you're going to do that for fat and also in protein because we're going to test all 3 of our molecules here today. Now the tests, you can read about our tests. We're going to be using what's called Benedict solution, heating it up with some of our ingredient. How I'm going to make the ingredients, because I'm going to do this over the weekend in preparation for this, is that I'm going to have cheeseburgers this weekend. I'm going to take a beef patty, put it into a blender, and just grind it up so that it's grounded up hamburger meat. I'll add a little bit of water in there, let the water soak in and almost like it's digested a little bit to release some of the molecules that are trapped inside of that beef, to let it seep into the water. That way, when we do this on Tuesday, it'll be purely greatness just happening inside of the cups that you're going to be getting the stuff out of. So we got hamburger. I'm going to do that same thing with cheese. Take a couple of those bright yellow American cheese slices, put them into a blender, add a little bit of water to it, blend it up, make a nice little cheese smoothie for us. Same with the tomato. Just take a tomato, boom, pop it in the blender. Same thing with buns. Put some buns in there, blend them up so that we get kind of the slushy mix going on there. And this just explains the different tests. Here is where you'll write down the results of whether or not the test was positive or negative. Positive means that it would have that molecule in there. Negative means that it wouldn't. These are the things that I'm going to give you in an email of the actual results. So the sugars, we're going to test for starch, which are polysaccharides. We're going to test for fats, which is our lipids. And we're going to test for proteins, which is our proteins. for each one of them. Once you get the results, you'll be able to do these post-lab questions here, referencing back to the data and how you would interpret the data. And then we've got 3 different reading sections. Because they're only going to do half of the things in class, so there's going to be time left at the end to kind of go through some of this stuff. And this is just further explaining or going over, retelling of the information that we covered this week. Since it's kind of been jumbled up, I want to make sure that we are getting the major points out of it. So a couple of questions about carbohydrates there, a couple of questions about reading, and a couple of questions dealing with lipids. You'll bounce back and forth, so they're one right after the other, so you can go to the reading, answer the question. Go to the reading, answer the question for it. And that's what you'll be doing each and every day. So if you do get this a little bit early and you did take a chance to look at the video, you could do this part early, I guess, or you can wait until we get the results and I send the results to you, and then you can finish it up after you take a look at the results and how we kind of ended it that way. This is something that you'll need to submit then afterwards, so make sure that you pop back on Schoology, hit that big old submit button, that white submit button. Make sure the rocket takes off. It tells you that you submit it. It's one of the early on assignments here in the second quarter. It says right here it's going to be 36 points, so make sure that you're answering everything on there. I know a lot of you end up leaving 1 or 2 things blank. Don't do that. Put some answers down there. If you don't know, email me or see me, talk to me about it. I will help you out. So you just have to ask, otherwise I will not know. But yeah, that's going on there. And then, so it's not going to be due on Tuesday because it's half and half. You should be able to finish it. If you don't finish it, it's going to be due for the class on Monday. I think I just set the due date to Wednesday, though, because I anticipate people getting done with it in class and turning it in. But that is when officially it would be due, and we're all coming back there. And if you have any questions whatsoever, do not hesitate to ask. Make sure that you do. I will see you hopefully sooner rather than later. But if not, make sure that you're keeping in contact. Hopefully you're keeping well paced at home there. And I will see you later. Always remember, it's a great day to be a junior Potter.